Hi, my name's Marissa Fearman, and here's my paper. It's kind of blurry. Okay, so today I am doing my portfolio on the role of the pancreas and liver in regulating digestion. The pancreas and the liver, it's very important in aiding for both secreting and filtering vitamins, enzymes, and all those kinds of things. They do play a very important role. But other than that, we'll dive a little bit deeper into what each, both the pancreas and the liver are, along with both of their own, how they both regulate in digestion as well. And then we'll talk about different features that are located inside both the pancreas and the liver. And then we'll kind of close up our talking about the role of digestion after that. This is a very short and simple kind of topic that is talked about. It doesn't really have much to it. It's very flat out, this is what it is and this is what it does. So there's also that, but to dive in deeper, we'll start with what it's the pancreas and what its function is. So once we do that, then we'll dive into the liver. So first off, we'll start with the pancreas. I do have a little picture up here. So the pancreas, it is located right within the liver. The pancreas has both a long body, the top end is the tail, and then you have the head at the bottom, you have the body, and then the tail. You also have the pancreatic duct and the bile duct, and we'll dive into deeper about the bile duct and the pancreatic duct as well. So the pancreas is a long, flat gland that lies in the abdomen behind the stomach. Its main function, it produces substances such as enzymes that help with digestion. And the three main functions of the pancreas, it can regulate blood sugar levels in like type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Well, I could talk a little bit about that later. And then it helps stimulate stomach acids, and then it tells your stomach when it is empty. So there's a little bit about that. So in type 1 diabetics, you have both the alpha cells and the beta cells. And then in type 2 diabetes, that's when your body does not respond to those insulin hormones. And the insulin just accumulates in your in the pancreas, and the cells do not respond to that stimulating hormone. And then type 1 diabetes is when your body does not physically produce insulin. So a lot of type 1 diabetics get diagnosed at a very younger age, and type 2 diabetes is very common with obesity. And that also in type 2 diabetes does limit the secretion of fats or carbs, and the carbs that don't get secreted get stored as fat. So it kind of goes along with how you may see people on the heavier or overweight side that have type 2 diabetes, but you would never think they do, because they don't know that their body isn't responding to those fats. Or people may abruptly just gain weight and they're like, I don't know what's happening. They may be pre-diabetic, therefore then now they are diabetic at that time. So they need to address that issue right away. Usually it's with insulin pens and stuff like that, bolus and basal insulin as well for type 1 diabetes or type 2 diabetes. And then type 1 diabetes, those symptoms vary. It can be that they have to go to the bathroom more often. Excessive thirst is very common. Kind of like a fruity smell as well that I've seen. And there's some other, as in like some may have really weak bones, and then you will see kind of like a weight loss in some type 1 diabetics. or they have very weak muscles, or they look very fatigued. That can be a very common issue in type 1 diabetics. But now we'll dive in deeper about what is the liver and its functions. So now we will talk about what is the role of the liver. So the liver can play many different important roles in the human body. In the liver, we have also the bile ducts, which secrete bile or feces. You have the stomach, obviously, the gallbladder, which a body can function without the gallbladder. You have the colon, and then the small intestine. There's many different more direct places within the liver that I can dive deeper in. So we have the right hepatic duct, the left hepatic duct, we have the hepatic portal vein, the spleen, the hepatic artery, the common hepatic duct, the gallbladder, the cystic duct, the pancreas, the duodenum, which is the first part of that small intestine that I did explain, and then common bile duct. So those functions of the liver could include filtering all of the blood in the body. It can help break down poisonous substances such as alcohol and drugs. That's very common, like with a fatty liver. If you see people that drink more often, that can wear on their liver very quickly. It can also filter, digest, metabolize, detoxify, synthesize, and store vitamins and minerals. So it will filter the vitamins or minerals, then it will digest the ones that it can, then it's going to metabolize those vitamins or minerals, then it's going to detoxify the ones that are good, or the ones that are bad compared to the ones that are good. Then it's going to synthesize the ones that are going to be able to be synthesized, and then it's going to store the vitamins it needs for another, I guess you could say, round. Moving forward, we'll now dive into how the pancreas works in aiding in digestion. So within the pancreas, we do have obviously the pancreatic duct, the liver, the bile duct, the head, body, and tail of the pancreas. So the pancreas's role in digestion is that your pancreas makes juices that are called enzymes. So those enzymes have to be filtered and through the pancreatic duct and the pancreas to help filter what your body needs in digestion and all that stuff. So those enzymes are later broken down into sugar, fats, and starches. Those starches, your body will either, for example, like gluten, your body will know if you're like sensitive or if your body doesn't respond or is it's a very toxic thing in your body. That will be noted because you'll look like you'll have an increased shape of your stomach, and that can be a cardinal signal of you having maybe a gluten allergy. Same with dairy, and many other situations. That can be something that can be treated very quickly and easily. But now we'll move into how the liver aids in digestion. So it regulates the distribution of amino acids in the body. In the stomach, pepsin breaks down proteins into fragments called peptides. You have pepsin, then you have pepsinogen, which is the active form. You have trypsin, and then trypsinogen, which is the active form. So there's also that stuff, and then the amino acids are absorbed from the small intestine into the bloodstream. So you have protein digesting enzymes that are secreted from the pancreas into the small intestine. And then in the small intestine, there's a variety of different enzymes that break large peptide bonds into smaller peptide bonds to make it easier to flow throughout the stomach and the tracts. And then they are fully synthesized into smaller amino acids. And then lastly, there's a small amount of dietary proteins that could be lost in the feces through excretion, which is very common, and that is a good thing. But So the liver secretes bile and it purifies the blood that has the newly absorbed nutrients. The liver does contain, or it converts ammonia into urea because ammonia is very toxic for the body. So it has to get converted to a non-toxic form such as urea. Where you'll think of there's polyuria, proteinuria, all those words are very common. For protein digestion, amino acids are transported to the liver during digestion, which is we kind of already talked about. And then on further diving deeper into what is located in the liver, you have first, before you go down into the liver, you have the esophagus food pipe that filters the food. You have the liver, then you got the stomach, the gallbladder, pancreas, duodenum, and then you have the tube down into the urinary. There's 4 different parts. You have the larger right lobe, larger left lobe, small caudate lobe, and the quadrate lobe. And then in the pancreas, we already said the spleen, large intestine, small intestine. Most of the pancreas is consumed of exocrine tissue that produces pancreatic enzymes that aid in digestion. And then you have the little that is left that is not of exocrine is endocrine cells. But that is the main function on how the liver and pancreas aid in digestion. It is very important, and it should be a topic that many individuals do learn about. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and bye.